And they all say,
hey yo, God got me, long story, small lobby. Broke elevators, but rich, mommy. I told her that while we was cheese liney. No looking back, go get your feet climby. No quicksand, cause the streets grimy.
Well, let's do
What's
the
up?
Introductions. This is one of your peers right here.
Yeah, this is it, man.
Brooklyn Basement Podcast.
Yeah, welcome, man. We got a very special guest today, man. This is one of the best kept secrets, I would say you are, John, of NYC. One of the best kept secrets at NYC. He was the go-to guy every time we need something strong. But we need somebody that fucks with us this strong. Let's call John.
Yeah.
And he would come through always, man. But thank you, man. Brooklyn Basement Podcast, thank you for coming through. My man AR, of course. The great Jon Laster. Welcome, man.
Oh,
yeah,
man. Thank y'all,
time,
man.
bro.
Anytime somebody call you the best kept secret, translation, this nigga ain't making no money. I mean, he still ain't making no money yet. That's why y'all ain't heard of him, but he funny.
It's not really like that, because there's a lot of them that are like, Kenny Williams is one of those best kept secrets. Just beasts that people don't really, if you don't really know comedy, people don't really mess with them like that. You know what I mean? They know of them, but never really put them on.
Yeah.
The only one that really knows them like that, like Ray. Ray knows all the secrets, and
If you're not subscribed already, press that red button. It'll cost you no money. You ain't even gotta give me no weed. This is the Brooklyn Basement Podcast, where we talk real shit. And when you press subscribe, it helps us in the YouTube algorithm, so you can see us more often. So press that red button, because we need you to do that shit. Like right now. Please.
Let's rewind it a bit, because originally you come from Colorado, right?
Yeah.
When you lived out there, did you always want to be a comedian, or?
No, hell nah, man. I was a ball player in a former life. And then I, when the NBA door was closing, I started a talk show in college. So I wanted to be a talk show host, but I found out everybody who was a talk show host was a stand-up comedian first. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. The other thing, though, too, man, is as I was, coming of age as a ball player, people had told me, leave Denver and go to New York. And he was like, it'd be an easier path to the NBA if you just moved to New York. I'm a mama's boy. I wasn't leaving my mom, damn sure not ahead of time before I had to. So I stayed in Denver. But right before my senior year, I played against some New York dudes, right? And I'm dragging these sons of bitches through the mud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm making a scene.
Yeah.
So much so, man, that when the game started, because when you play in, when you go to tournaments, coaches sit, there's like 4 courts going at the same time. Coaches sit all around the arena.
right.
The game was over. All the coaches had slid to my, to the court that I was playing on. That's the mockery I was making of these New York dudes. But I didn't have the same path to the NBA as some of them cats did. So I learned my lesson from that. Being the big fish in the little pond, not gonna make it. So when it came time to do comedy, people was like, hey, John, there was a comedy club down the street. I was already packing my boxes. Like, okay, yeah, y'all hit that one. I'm gonna see what's going on in New York City, bro.
So you just jumped right into comedy, and it was like, there was never any kind of like inkling, like I like this other thing, just in case this doesn't work out. It was
man. I was working on Wall Street, man, when I first got here, just to keep the lights on. But I was the dude that was in front of me, man. On Fridays, what they do is they like, hey, this week Jim, did da-da-da-da, and they would give out these checks. So and so made $10,000 last month. So and so made $58,000 last month. But the dude that was in front of me made $15,000 for the month. So I was gonna be right behind him. And I was thinking to myself, man, if these motherfuckers give me a check for $15,000, I ain't gonna never do comedy. You know what I'm saying?
just one check.
You give me one check, ain't no way I'm gonna be going out here to pork knockers getting booed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just decided, man, right as they handed him that check, I quit and never went back, because I was like, ain't no way, man. I came out here to do one thing.
You was waiting for your name to get called. You're like, I'm next. Put me in, coach, for the check.
Yeah.
It ain't never happened.
Yeah, man. So I just, that was the end of it, man. And the dude that was working there, the broker that was training me, he called me up. He said, hey, John, man, you ain't been here in 5 days. And I was like, yeah, man, I just haven't been feeling good. He said, no, that's bullshit. You're just not coming anymore. He said, listen, man, you're fired. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, man. He said, listen, man, I understand what you're going through. He said, I know you want to do the comedy thing. He said, listen, if you ever want another job, man, call me back. He said, you're one of the best I got on the phone, man. He said, I understand. He said, man, I wish you well. I hope it works out. I was like, this either this comedy thing gonna work out or I'm gonna die.
How long you been in comedy already?
Oh man, forever, almost 20 years.
And so you started comedy in New York? There was never...
No, there was no I don't have no connection to Denver. Yeah, doing comedy. Yeah, I just grabbed my one box and came out here to New York City, put it down, started balling. My sister was freaked out. She was like, "Oh my God, I'll buy you a ticket home. It's okay. You don't have to spend any money."
What are you doing?
I know you feel like you made a mistake. And I remember telling my sister I wasn't crying because I wanted to go home. I was crying because I was never going home.
So
Ever.
here we talk to comedians because the podcast originally when we created was to speak to comedians and kind of learn the struggles and stuff like that. Like, everybody just sees the comedians on stage and they don't know like, yo, it's a grind.
Yeah.
So now hearing this and hearing that you started comedy here coming from another state, that must have been like even harder.
Oh, it's terrible.
Like not really knowing anybody, like
it's
connections,
the worst. Yo, keep in mind, man, I was the captain of the basketball team the year before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My house was the party house on campus. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So you go from the big man on campus to who? You know what I'm saying?
Who that dude?
Did you sign up first before this? Did you send a video? You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like I was the man in Colorado, man. My boy Sherrod, man, went out there for a show probably like 2 weeks ago or so. But he came back and he said, "Yo, man, I was in the green room," and he was like, "These niggas is still arguing about you in the green room."
Yeah?
Yeah, about whether you was better than Chance. He said, "Man, he was telling the other comedians at the Cellar, he was like, "Man, you don't really know who this nigga is until you go to Denver. Then you realize, like, this motherfucker was like the dude." So it, like, then he, was like, "Man, I have way more respect that you left that." You know what I mean? But you got to get out of your comfort zone. But yeah, man, I had a cushy life, and then you come here and nobody know you. Motherfuckers like, who the fuck is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're not funny. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, you coming here bombing. I remember one time I was in Jersey, man, when I was new, and everybody was having a good set, man. And this woman comes in, man, and she got on a mink coat. And she's talking loud. Her friends is there. So she meeting up with her girls. But she's talking like there's no show going on. "Hey, y'all, what's up?" Like, and they was trying to shush her. She's still talking loud. So I was like, "Yo, the fuck, yo, you don't see me standing here? You talking loud?" And she calmly stopped, man. And she turned. Because normally when somebody heckles you, they say, "Hey, this ain't funny," or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she stopped and she turned and she looked at me. She was a little confused. And then she said, "Fuck you, bitch." Yo, so,
how you become from that?
how do you come back from not work on your material? She said, "Fuck you, bitch."
She went straight into fight mode.
Yo, and I'm the only person.
This had to be like Newark or something.
It was right in Newark.
Yes.
I was the only person on that show that didn't have a good set. Yeah, I got "fuck you, bitch" out of town. So yeah, it was humbling, man. Was
that like within the first year or two of comedy?
Oh yeah, man, first year or two. I remember.
And you still didn't give up. You was like, "Nah, I gotta stick it through."
You know what was the night that I was like, man, because when I first started, I used to go out with my friends, so I would hit up my homies. Rich, you remember Wild Will? I don't know if you remember Wild Will. That might have been before your time. Wild Will Branham. So it would be like 3 or 4 of us, Ken Black, and we would all go out together. But I was super ambitious. So sometimes I'd be like, "Yo, man, let's go to oh man, my girl's tripping," or "Yo, man, I don't know, man, I'm tired. I don't feel like." So one day I said, "Man, fuck it. I'm gonna try to go out there by myself." And Donnell used to have a room, Ashy Larry from the Chappelle Show. So I go down to his joint, and it's a West Indian room, and they are not having it. You know what I'm saying? I'm throwing my shit out there, and they sliding back across the table like, "Yo, this ain't done yet." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I remember, man, walking out of there after I bombed my ass off. Somebody heckled me off stage and shit, and I'm walking home, and it was dark, man. Right? I'm walking up to my crib. And just out of nowhere comes a torrential downpour.
As a straight movie scene.
Yo, like some Charlie Brown shit. You know what I'm saying? I think the cloud was just over me. I don't think none of the rest of Brooklyn got wet. God was like, "Motherfucker,
there was
you
birds
so awful."
chirping across the street.
Yes, it was birds chirping. You know what I'm saying? Women getting tans. Just a cloud, man, right over me. It just started. I'm talking about a torrential downpour. And the funny thing, man, is there was a bus stop, man, from here to the camera, right? And I was about to run under the bus stop, and I was like, I don't even deserve that.
Let me just take it all in.
Let me just take it all in, man. But when I got home, man, I was like, well, if that's the worst could happen when I go out by myself,
right.
I get booed off stage, I get drenched, I'm going to be all right. I can fight through this. And I can go out by myself from now on and work at the pace I want to work. I don't have to wait on people. You know what I'm saying? Soaking wet, I took my jacket off, and I was like, well, fuck it. I'm going to start working at my pace. And
were you making money at that time, though?
No. First time I ever got some money, man, my boy Rudy Rush, I was doing a show, and I rocked. And he said, hey, man, he turned to Ray DeJean. He said, hey, man, give him some of my money. If Ray wasn't there, Ray was standing right by the dude. And then Ray told me, he gave me $20. I went around the corner and cried because I was like, man.
This is your first 20?
First $20 bill. And then at that show, Ray booked me for another show over in.
That's the first time I met you.
Where, with Ray?
With Ray, remember we did a show in Canal Street. It was around Canal Street. We both had the room, and we would talk about, he's prostituting us.
Yeah.
Like, he's prostituting us because he had us doing one spot here and another spot here. Like, this dude's prostituting us.
Ray would give you
I give you $75. Like, you gave you $75?
He booked me for $35. Yo, but you know what? I had just got 20. Nigga, that was a pay raise. Yeah. I was moving up fast.
They did the McDonald's on you for 10 cents more. You
know what I'm saying? He supersized me. $35, yo. And I had to I had to host that whole show over in Park Slope. And then once it got good, it got packed. He did the same thing he did to me with every single show that I built up. Then he brought in talent.
Right.
Yeah, kicked me out. Oh, well, it's going good, man. I'm gonna have a guest host. Okay. And $20, man. And then I got booked for $35, man.
Some of the peers that you came up with, did any of them excel beyond where you made it to, or like?
Oh, I hope so.
Like, because you mentioned a couple of guys that I recognize their names, and I know this is way back.
I was doing shows with Kev, man. I was doing shows with Kev when Kev was Little Kev the Bastard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But Dean used to come to. He used to come to a little show that I had at 2 Steps Down on DeKalb. That's kind of legendary now. That run that I had there. Because Dean would be there every week. Leslie Jones would be there every week. Tracy used to come down. He wasn't getting a lot of burn on Saturday Night Live back then. But I mean, I was brand new. You know what I mean? I've been doing comedy for an hour. These motherfuckers was already headliners. But yeah, man, there was so many people that came through there, man.
So those guys that were already on in the game for a minute, did any of them give you some mentorship, or did they make you feel welcome? And
I mean, they still, I still work with them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Les fucking, had me do the BET Awards, and another gig. I just did the Super Bowl. Writing for the Super Bowl with Tracy. Trey put me on Last OG, so I still work with them quite a bit.
So all those names, who influences you the most?
Yeah. Who influences me the most?
I heard a lot of names though.
Yeah.
You know what, man? I think, to be honest with you, man, more the club than the names. I think the Comedy Cellar probably has had the biggest influence on me, as of late. Because you get to sit there and watch people, who are way further ahead than you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't know, because it reminds me of basketball. You get to be in the gym. You know what I mean? Like, nobody got to be in the gym with Jordan and LeBron. You don't get to be in the gym with these guys when they're working out. Right. The Cellar, I get to be in the gym with them.
With the elite,
I get to watch the best motherfuckers that can fill up Madison Square Garden in a couple hours. Yeah. You get to watch, what is Chris Rock doing that I'm not doing? You know what I mean? Right. What is Les doing? What is Amy Schumer doing? What are these people doing? What is Chappelle doing? What is Aziz doing? What is Louis C.K.? What are these people doing that I'm not doing? But now that I'm starting to see what they do, I can apply that, and you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like anything else. You replicate somebody's habits, you're going to get similar results.
Right.
You know what I mean? But most people don't have the habits. They don't have the daily, we always think that, that person is good. It's almost like people's like, Kobe was the shit. Kobe was on the bench. Mm-hmm. People forget that.
He put in the work.
Yes. And when we play ball, man, people used to tell us, hey, man, if you shoot 500, you're supposed to shoot 500 shots a day, right? None of us did. right? None of us religiously got them 500 shots up. Kobe shot 1,000 religiously. And then look at the end result. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, if you do the, LeBron with his diet, people, like you said, people don't peel that back. They just say, oh, man, he could jump. He could. Nah. We know there's a lot of 6'8", 6'9" motherfuckers who could jump and dunk and pass. That ain't it. You got to do the daily grind, man. You got to get in the gym whatever number of hours you need to every day, whether that be basketball, comedy, tech, whatever it is. You got to get to the seat, man. Get to the gym.
It's funny. You're probably the first comic that actually related basketball and comedy together, and it makes a lot of sense in like the habits, just the habits of what do you do as a player. What do you do as a player in the game of comedy? What do you do in the player of the game in the basketball? You know what I mean? And it takes you far. It depends how much you put effort, how much effort you put in that to get where you got to go.
You could write down your daily habits. You don't even have to put your name at the top of it, and I can tell you where you are.
Right.
As a comedian. You write your daily schedule, your weekly schedule down. Hey, this is how many times I got on stage. This is where I got on stage. I can tell you don't got to put a name on it. I can tell you where you at.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah.
No,
That's some real sensei shit right there. You know what I mean?
But you ain't shit, huh?
At the end of that, you hear a gong.
I almost bowed to this motherfucker. Nah, but because I asked him because I look, as Will mentioned before, you like one of the beasts of New York, and I know you personally. I've seen you do comedy for 10 years personally, at least, maybe more, as long as I know you. And I'm like, when's my man Jon getting that shine? Like, he's a monster. It's not like you hosting the Cellar for these guys. So take it back to some of those guys you just mentioned. You was in the Cellar, and probably, I'm gonna say, the most historical night in any comedy room.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
ever.
Easily.
Where Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, well, it started with my boy Ryan Hamilton, actually, who's a beast. Ryan had the best set of the whole night.
Really?
People don't know that, yeah. Ryan had the best set. There's only a couple of us that have that video. But
because there's no filming type shit going on in it.
They wouldn't, right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but Ryan was first, and then and after Ryan, Dave Attell went up.
But you're hosting this night.
I'm hosting. Yeah.
Right. Let's start. Let's take it slow on this.
And you know what's crazy? We knew that all of them wasn't going to be able to do their time because I did all my time. So we had no idea that this was going to happen this night. It was just a perfect storm.
And nobody knew that these guys were showing up.
No, they were there for different reasons.
They're just popping in.
Yeah. And then when I asked the manager when the show started, hey, who's going up? She said, well, obviously we can't get there's no way in the world. And so
now
and so's
saying
leaving.
that, hold on. They saying we can't because they wouldn't want to, or because we don't have time?
We don't have time. You
but
can't
wouldn't
put
the club stay open? Hold up. Let's mention some of these names first before we continue.
What was the lineup?
Yes.
Oh, so the lineup was, like I said, my boy Ryan Hamilton. Second up was Dave Attell. And then third up was Jerry Seinfeld.
Crazy.
And then after Jerry Seinfeld went up, Amy Schumer went up. And then after Amy Schumer went up, Aziz Ansari went up. And then after Aziz Ansari went up, Chris Rock. And after Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle.
Bro, that's like somebody coming up to you and say, if you can make your Voltron of comedians, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just take all these guys and this is it.
Yeah.
And you got Jon hosting it. So how do they not? How
the $1 billion show?
Yeah, that's that $1 billion remix, baby.
Yeah,
how does the club say, yo, I don't care how long we got to stay here tonight or till tomorrow?
Well, no, once it happened, but we just didn't think that all of them would want to go
Right, that's what I'm thinking more.
Yeah, because that wasn't the plan. The only reason that Seinfeld went down in the basement is because he wanted to see Dave Attell. So he went downstairs. So then Chris and because Seinfeld's never there. So then Chris and Dave came downstairs. They sitting in the hallway watching Seinfeld. So then Amy was like going to the bathroom, came back, they chit-chatting, and she was like, oh, y'all going up? Oh, man, fuck that. I'll do 5. So she was like, yo, can I do 5? Yeah, we'd love for you to do, hell yeah. Jump on. So then Amy went up and ripped real quick. You know what I'm saying? Just got her toes in the water. Then after that, Aziz was supposed to be on the show because he was hosting Saturday Night Live. Right. So then he went up. So now the dam done broke. Like, really, if you Chris and Dave, you kind of got to go up now. This is already historical. You might as well get a piece of the action. So then after that, then Chris went up, and then Dave went up, and then Dave went on stage. Yo, it's so funny. Nobody would know this, but Dave went on stage. Everybody's going crazy, right? He said, calm down, calm down. Cat Williams is next.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, he said, Cat Williams is next. Calm down, calm down.
The real star tonight.
Cat Williams is next. Oh, my God.
So,
Yeah.
but so when do you start realizing these names are coming down? When you on stage hosting already?
No. We was upstairs. When we were upstairs, Seinfeld was there, which was bizarre. He's just never there.
Never.
Right. So when Dave went downstairs, Seinfeld followed him. So I go to get Dave off stage, and Dave was like, Seinfeld's going to do something. I'm like, whoa. So then once Seinfeld went up, I come upstairs. Now Chris and Dave is there. You know what I'm saying?
Are you thinking like this is like a weird prank or
Dude,
something?
it was
how
weird.
are you receiving this in your brain?
Yo, it was weird as a motherfucker. And then somebody had the nerve to ask me, they said, hey, John, was you like ripping in between? Was you doing a lot of time?
No.
I said, have you lost your dumbass mind? The last thing you want to do is up there yapping and somebody say, nah, I'll go on the next show. You know what I mean?
You're fired.
Yes.
You're
You know
out
what I
of here.
mean? You want to be a piece of that history. You know what I mean? I'm not finna cut myself out this Picasso. Are you out of your rabbit ass mind? He said, what was you doing? I said, I was getting them motherfuckers on stage as fast as I could. Yeah.
Damn.
That's history in the making, man.
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
so Dave, the first thing he said when we walked on, he said, yo, he said, Cat Williams up next. And then he said, yo, he said, this is a lot of pressure. I just
Right.
went up after $1 billion worth of comedy.
Even being Dave Chappelle, it's still like
He said, yeah, I'm still trying to hold my seat. So there was somebody from the Times there, and they said $1 billion show. They coined it the $1 billion show because he said that. $1 billion worth of comedy
Which
went up in
makes
front.
sense.
Yeah. Seinfeld is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
a billionaire.
yeah.
So he's like, I'm going up after $1 billion worth of comedy. So yeah, they coined it the $1 billion show. But yeah, that was the greatest organic show of all in comedy history for sure.
nobody could have imagined that just happening.
You know what's
at
crazy
random.
is I posted it on my Instagram, right? The lineup, right? While the show's going on. After everybody went up, I was like, yo, I was so blessed to have been a part of whatever. But CNN screenshotted it. So that's how it became international news. And then the media started calling, like, yo, did that really happen? The first call came at 6 on the dot a.m. from Australia.
So you set it off. Like once you put it, it's like what?
Yeah.
Because it's gonna look Photoshop for a second. Like wait a minute, doesn't even make.
Yeah. But if you saw that, you'd be like, is this a lie? Was this dude lying? But
Yeah,
no.
that's what I'm saying. Like
I felt bad because keep in mind, the Cellar do 4 shows on the weekend, right? So 7, 8:45, 10:45, 12:30, right? This is the 10:45 show. That dragged probably until like 1, right? This show went on for a long, long time, right? I felt bad for the motherfuckers at the next show.
So what happens to the crowd that's got tickets for the next show? They just got to wait out.
They was outside.
They just got to wait it out to have.
But imagine if you was out there waiting all that time and then found out
I
you
know
just
you just missed the greatest show in history for free in a way. You know what I mean? Like, cause you're not a ticket like that. Imagine you can't even price.
You can't
even
price
a
that.
ticket
No,
like
you
that.
couldn't price that. No,
That's crazy.
No, you can't price that. But yeah, man, I felt bad for them because I was looking at them when I was walking out like, y'all
Sucks
missed
you.
it.
Yeah.
Y'all really missed it. Luckily, they was around the corner and didn't know what was going on. But yeah, they just missed the greatest show of all time.
Wow, man. Well, you got a piece of that right there.
So the spot upstairs is still the restaurant in the
Yeah,
cellar.
still the Olive Tree. Yep, absolutely.
That's like the green room or they actually have a green room for the cellar now.
Pretty much. No, there's no green room. So yeah, the table upstairs is kind of our green room.
Yeah. I remember hanging out there as a young comic, and Rick Voss
Yeah.
was shitting on the young comics. Like, nah, you guys sit over there.
He's still doing it.
Yeah, Colin Quinn was with him, and Rick Voss, Colin Quinn, they all sitting like at the major players' table. Had a couple of young guys sitting over here. Hey, there's the young guys. Go over there with the young guys. Like, damn, guy.
Yeah.
Shitting on us. Because the green room is actually a restaurant.
Yeah,
they go upstairs and hang out because there's a little staircase that goes upstairs.
Table in the back, yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about Chris Rock was part of that lineup, which his special's coming out this year,
Yeah,
right?
live.
Supposedly this is the first time he might be addressing the situation.
Absolutely.
And, for the first time anywhere, right? Really?
I think he's working it a little bit on tour now. But he's gonna
like on TV where everybody can see
absolutely.
this will be the first time.
Absolutely, yeah. And that Netflix special is live. They're gonna live stream that.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's the first time ever something like that too, right?
I think it's been done before, maybe on Comedy Central or something like that. But it's been a long time, and nobody
that's
nobody
like
at Chris's
A-list
level.
Guy, yeah.
No, not at Chris's level. No, definitely not. Yeah, that's gonna be. I believe that's in March that's coming out.
Right.
But it's gonna be streamed live.
Have you ever been in a position as Chris, somebody trying to get tough with you on stage and having a...
Yeah, man, but you know what? Them motherfuckers kind of pick their spots. You know what I mean? It's rare, man. I'm not the first choice to be running up on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, people kind of pick their spots. But I've had some arguments. You gotta know when, like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know who you. It's a read. If you from the hood, man, you can read with somebody and they not in the mood. And that ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, so they're not in the mood.
Like 6'8" over here.
Yeah, I was in Boston one time, man, and I'm snapping on some motherfuckers because people was coming in late, and the door was right here by the stage. My homeboy Jonathan Gates, I love him to death, up in Boston, got this joint called Slades. People coming in late by the door. So sometimes when people walk by the door, I would fuck with the people coming in the door. And, I'm hitting people coming through the door. Oh, look at this motherfucker with these, with his aluminum foil outfit on. People laugh and whatever. This one dude walks in. I said, yo, look at this nigga. And he turned and looked at me and said, not tonight. You know what?
Did it remind you of that one girl back that called you a bitch?
I said, you know what? I'm gonna let this nigga sit down. You know what I'm saying?
You right.
Checkmate.
Yo, you know what's crazy? He didn't holler.
Right, the tone
You know what I'm
told
saying?
it all. Sometimes
You got to read it.
Yes.
You got to read the room.
Yeah.
He turned and looked at me and said, not tonight. I said, okay, all right.
John said, not ever.
Yeah.
We're good.
Nah.
Jonathan Gates' room, though, in Boston Slaves, I did that before. That's the first room I've ever been in that he actually prays.
Yes.
At the end of the show, like he prays. He stops.
After his set?
No, after the show.
After the show.
After the show. After his set. All right, everyone bow their heads.
Fuck up the whole show. Like,
No, he actually prays after the show. Like he actually
the next
says,
comment is like, I don't even believe in God.
I'm Muslim.
What if the nigga came up and prayed before his set?
Yeah. Please, God. And everybody still booed him. God don't exist.
They come on stage and pray before they set.
That's a dope room, though. Slaves is
It's a dope room, yeah. That dude turned to me and said, not tonight. Yeah, you gotta know who you're talking to, man. You gotta be able to read that shit. It ain't worth it.
So going back to some of the struggles of being a comic, the $1 billion lineup happens, then COVID comes.
Yeah.
As if it isn't rough already for comedians.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Everything's shut down. What happens then? Because something good came out of this ultimately, which we're gonna get into. That's why I'm bringing.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, when the lockdown happened, the clubs was closed,
Right.
so we was all stuck, man. We supposed to be, me and my team was supposed to be, my guys were supposed to be shooting another film. We had just got our first film kind of in the can, like a year or two before COVID, called One Bedroom. You can catch it's on Amazon now, but it's a really good film. We was gonna shoot 2 more, and then. The bottom fell out with COVID, and then we sitting around.
Is that a comedy?
Yeah, it's a romantic comedy.
Nice.
Yeah, feature film, 90 minutes, man. It's really good though. And we sitting around, man, and then the George Floyd situation happened. George Floyd's 6'4", 215, same skin color. So watching George Floyd get choked was literally like watching myself. This nigga's exact same height, exact same weight, exact same skin color, haircut, everything. It was like being able to watch myself die in public. You know what I'm saying? And then I decided, man, I'm going to go out and march and whatever. And I went out on Eastern Parkway, man. I'm out there yelling and screaming. And it dawned on me, I was like, this shit ain't sustainable. This, because these, not for nothing, man. And I appreciate all the white folks that went out there and marched, whatever. But I was like, they going to be able to go back to their life when this shit is over with, which they going to do. So we got to do something different, man, something sustainable. So I ended up creating a geolocated app, let you know all the black-owned businesses are. It's got the online portion of the app, though, is about to start to cook. That's going to scare the shit out of people because during this process of putting this app together, I find out about more unbelievable dope shit that's out there that's black that would otherwise never see the light of day.
what is the main goal of the app?
To increase the circulation of the black dollar. At 48% of all black-owned businesses, when the lockdown happened, 48% of our brick and mortars shut their doors permanently. So, only because it's black folks did you not hear that, that should be alarm bells flashing. This community is going under. And so I was trying to find a way to, plug a hole in the boat, man. And I mean, as it stands right now, I think it's by 2043, 2048 or something, black wealth will have dwindled to zero. And that's because of the circulation rate. Right. There'll be zero black wealth in the black community.
If nothing is done about it.
Nothing is done about it. It's just going to keep, you keep spending your money with other motherfuckers. You sending other motherfuckers' kids to college.
Right.
What the fuck you think is going to happen? You sitting there complaining and bitching about it. You got to, and the crazy thing is, I know this is going to sound insane, right? People going to be like, oh, he's pro, whatever. And I don't even know if I should say this in public, but integration is when the dollar started seeping out of the community. You know what I mean? But you got to find ways to put it back in. In all fairness, to people not spending, with the black dollar not circulating, it's not that easy to find, to know what's black owned, or to find. Right. If I ask 90% of black people to tell me 2 black owned ice creams, I bet they couldn't do it. You know what I mean? And it's out there. Tyra got an ice cream. E40 got an ice cream. There's another 5, 10 black owned. But where would we find that? We've never had a place to find that would make it easy. You know what I mean? And you got to make it easy because we are all lazy by nature. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got to help me help you, motherfucker. I'm not going to go out of my way to help your ass. You know what I'm saying?
This is your shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's like a nigga say, yo, will you help me move? Yeah, man, I'll help you move. Okay, man, well, I'm living in Maryland right now. Well, nigga, you on your own. You know what I'm saying? You got to help me help you. I'm not going to come to Maryland and help you move, motherfucker. So, yeah, I'm trying to find a way to make it easy, man, to get the circulation back popping.
So the name of the app is
Blapp.
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 Blapp. Yeah.
Now, when you and I briefly spoke about it, I said, well, what's going to separate this from me saying like something that's already easily available to me, like Google Maps or whatever, to search stuff that I may want, right? Mm-hmm. And your response was something like, this will make it so that things you might not even be aware of exist.
Right.
And you said how your friend has a...
Yeah. Well, you know what? I met a woman down at the Comedy Cellar, and she said she had an Afrocentric kiddie pool business. She sells Afrocentric kiddie pools. Where would you find that?
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? But if she advertised that to a community of people on Blapp who have kids in April, May, June's coming up, people will be, I'll definitely buy one of those.
Right, exactly.
Or where are you going to find it? How many of us are going to drink this weekend? How many of us can name 3 black-owned liquors?
All right.
How much money is going to be spent drinking? But if people knew and tried some of that shit, people were like, you know what, I can fuck with this. How many people know where there's a black-owned liquor store? That was the first thing I bought on Blapp. Called up my homegirl. It was her birthday. She used to work at the Cellar. I said, yo, I'm going to get you some wine. There's a wine store. I could look out my window and see it. And she said, and I had just got the prototype, so I sent it to her. Tell me what you think of this prototype. She said, yo, this is fire. This is unbelievable, John. This is going to be huge. So I was like, okay, so now we having a conversation about her birthday, whatever. What you want? I'll get you some wine. She said, why don't you use your app? So I hit
help me to help you.
Help me help you.
There it goes.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I hit the wine button on the app. Turns out there's a black-owned liquor store 2 blocks. Went down there, spent the $50, man. And, came out of that liquor store crying my ass off because I was like, oh, that's what building this was all about. Mm-hmm. That $50. You know what I'm saying? You get 1 million people on the app. Let's pretend they do exactly what I did and they never use the app again for the rest of their life. That would have been $50 million. 50, that's circulation. Right. Now we talking. And, of course, nobody's just going to use it once. But, I mean, it dawned on me what the impact of this could be. And I remember walking home thinking, oh, this is what they're going to put on my tombstone. The comedy shit won't never, level up to that.
Instantly, my question is like, okay, so why hasn't it blown up? Why people like Chris Rock or some of your peers that are not jumping in and say, yo, let's dump a bunch of money in this. Let's get this thing going.
But it's not just about the money because the development is one thing and then the promotion is another thing. But I also learned, man, since I've been in this business, that you kind of want to, you can be in as much trouble by no one downloading the app as you can by too many people getting on too fast. You got to scale as you get shit right. Just like you had them problems, right? Getting on. Why do I want to ask Chris Rock when I know that that's going on?
Right.
You know what I mean? Get all that shit cleaned up first before you make them phone calls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get the kinks worked out before you ask for them type of favors. So I'm learning that scale accordingly. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's still doing good. I mean, we 50,000 downloads. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Not to mention, I'm here on the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's another 100,000 downloads. You know what I'm saying?
Here we go.
That's what I'm here for. You know, after I leave this podcast, baby, it is cocaine and strippers.
Yeah. What are some of the biggest challenges for you going from being a comedian and you have no background in technology and building apps and whatever? So, what are some of these challenges? The learning aspect of it, the getting people or describing what you want your app, how it should function, and putting those things into words to a motherfucker that does the coding shit.
I would say raising money. You know, most tech founders, definitely black, man. The way you start a tech company, man, I know this is going to be a little in the weeds, so I'm going to make it real quick. You start with called friends and family. So you just ask people, you know, close to you, hey, man, you got $5,000, I got $10,000 thrown into this idea. And then the next round is kind of a seed round where you're asking people for $25,000 to $50,000. And once you get into that realm, man, you know what I mean? Good luck. We just don't have as many people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Black wealth is, I think, 1/10 of what white wealth is in this country. So some white dude could make one phone call. I got to make 10 for every yes that I get. You know what I mean? If you're lucky. That's assuming that you even know people that have that kind of money. So I would say raising money, man, is the most tricky part. So it's not about that.
So so let's say someone just has a unique idea and says, I have an idea for an app. Maybe you were in a better position because you around a bunch of people, but someone in the hood, you know what I mean? Like
someone in the hood, you're going to have to find a way to raise money or get the idea out there for to attract people to raise that money. But that's going to be a tricky situation. Again, I was just with my guy today, man. He created this, I was with Sanjay earlier. He created an app, a barbershop app, where you can schedule your appointment, take the payment ahead of time, all that. Squire. Now, their app is valuation $1 billion. But he and I were laughing this morning while we sitting there eating breakfast, saying to ourselves, we're the first ones through the door. We'll be the first tech moguls that people can kind of relate to.
First Facebooks.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll be the first black dudes that people's like, yeah, these motherfuckers is getting money and they in tech. You know what I mean? So then people will see us and be like, oh, now I want to do that. So we're going to have to also, as we go through that door, make sure that we find ways for people to have access to us so that we can help
create like a
the
program.
cat in the hood. Yeah. Say, hey, man, you know, so we have some type of hood Shark Tank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right here in the basement. Right here in the basement.
You and Will. Let's get it.
So tell us what you got. Tell us about your product.
Tell us about your product.
Yeah.
Okay, we know you're an educated man. That's one of the few educated comics that actually went to college, and you don't find too many of those. So, do you vote?
Yes.
You do vote.
Yeah.
And you feel it counts.
Absolutely.
Okay. That was the broad question of because some comics, the last comic was like I went to school, I did this, but I don't vote. I don't believe in the politicians no more. I think they're all the same. It's just one big gang and they try to separate us. Now,
and let's touch a little bit of conspiracy theory. What's up with this balloon that just got shot down, bro? We might as well just
that was some goofy shit.
There's some suspect shit going on over there.
Yeah, there's some suspect shit going on over there, but I don't know. I think the Chinese could do better than a balloon.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I think the
a little bit.
I think the Chinese.
The
could do better
balloon
than
probably
the
was
balloon.
a distraction. They probably had some other shit as they look at the balloon and they doing some shit over here. They said it was 3 bus loads big. Like 3 bus.
The balloon?
The balloon was a 3 bus. Busload, like, yo, they trying to use.
Busloads of what?
Yeah, that balloon came from Mexico.
This shit was kilos. The Mexican dudes like, yeah, it was a Chinese.
Venezuelan balloon. They spray painted some Chinese shit on it.
This shit ain't even real Chinese.
Motherfucking spray paint on the side of it. Fung Hua bus. $25. Spray painted Fung Hua on that. That shit. Come on, y'all.
Yeah. Oh man, that's what's up. So the Blapp app, man, we gotta get that. So the next round is what happens now with the Blapp.
Oh man, we are gonna have a dope ass e-commerce platform on there, so you'll be able to shop, man. You know what I mean?
So it'll be like a built-in Amazon type of thing.
Yes, exactly.
Inside the app.
Yes,
So
that's
you
where
don't
it's
have
headed.
to leave the app for anything.
Right. Yeah, you'll be able to go on there. You know what I mean? Type in damn men's clothes, women's clothes, ice cream,
And
bikes.
people that have businesses, how do they get their business in?
Oh, you can get on there now. I mean, we have online. We have add a business either online or brick and mortar on the app now. So yeah, if you have an online business, by all means.
So they don't need no permission from. You just couldn't sign up.
Yeah,
and
just put your information in there, and then we'll be hitting you. You know, with the new rendition of Blapp in the next 4 to 6 weeks once we get that up.
Kind of working off a little honor system in a way, right? Because what if it is, some Chinese dude, with a balloon factory, what I mean?
Yeah, I'll have a team checking it out.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, we don't want no.
Yeah, I just downloaded the app. Yeah.
Oh, dope.
I ain't have it. You start with Google, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bam.
Start with Google. Continue sign. I guess the face recognition will get me in.
Boom.
But if you don't have face recognition, then
still
No,
get
you're good.
in.
You already got it.
Yeah, you-
Nah,
okay.
it's
Yeah.
Boom.
all right,
Good.
man. Got you next. And
That quick. How long that
Yes.
took you? 10 seconds.
not even like
Not
5.
even 5 seconds. You signed in.
Yeah,
That's
man.
it.
And people always say they want to do something. It's like you can't take 5 seconds to download the app and find some
That's
shit.
it.
That shit was 5 seconds. All it's
Yeah.
asking me is for my phone number.
No
This I didn't
money,
have.
no nothing.
But that's what I mean about you got to help people. You know what I mean? And the sad part is people haven't seen something this dope for just black-owned business. So until you get in there, people
Right.
don't even realize that. And then they get in like, oh, this motherfucker did it. This ain't no this ain't no bullshit ghetto shit. Like this dude really put some technology in here in my hand.
And the layout looks dope.
It's fire.
It's simple, straight to the point. There's
Yes.
no funny shit going on. Pop-ups everywhere. None of that crazy shit.
Nah.
Yeah, dope.
It's on the Google Play.
Yeah.
It's on
the Google platform.
the
Absolutely.
App, the iTunes or whatever. The Apple is everywhere. So
Yeah,
there's no
it's on the
reason.
Play Store, on the
if you
App Store.
support anybody here that you can't take 5 seconds. I believe that was probably.
Yeah. Look, I'm
to
going
download
to.
the app.
I'm gonna fuck around and go to Sea King Friday.
Bam.
Yeah, Sea King's in City Island.
That quick.
Yeah,
City Island.
Yeah.
You's a hood booger.
No, I got a show. I got a show in City Island. I got a show in City Island. I'll go there for dinner
You's
before
an
the
old
show.
school hood rat, bro.
No, I got a show in City Island.
Yo, man, John, I know you got to get out of here soon, right?
Yeah.
But I appreciate that when we called you, you instantly said, "Yo, I'm coming down, man." And that's always, we definitely, that's touching us that you took time out of your busy schedule, just showed up,
Man, we really appreciate that.
caught
That
up a
was
little
dope.
bit. You know what I mean?
I got love for y'all, man. Thank you guys for having me, man.
Nah, anytime, bro. And don't forget, guys, download the Blapp.
Yeah, I just did it, dope.
And you in the Comedy Cellar every Sunday?
I'm down there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Y'all.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you can just check out John any one of those nights on any one of those
You doing
shows.
all 4 shows?
I do 3. I do the first 3. Somebody else does the last one. Yeah, sometimes, you know what? Sometimes I do all 4, man. But that 4th one, man, be,
Yeah, that's the
Dragging
journey.
it, right?
Yes, that's a lot, man. So I try to just do 3. But, I mean, they're probably like once every 3 weeks or so I do all
Does
of
it
them.
mess you up as a comic? Because I know I used to host Pips and do like several shows. Does it mess you up like joke wise? Did I
Yeah,
do that
sometimes-
joke?
yeah,
Like, did I
sometimes.
do that joke? What show am I on right now?
I try to keep it in order
Right.
so that I know where I am in the show.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That way, if I'm in this part of the show, I'm like, I know I hadn't done it because I only do that joke in this part of the show.
Right,
That way you
okay.
can keep it on track. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's difficult.
Yeah, it's hard.
And as a comedian, doing so much hosting, does that affect your regular stand-up routine? Does
Yeah, I
it's
think
a
I
different
think
muscle?
it atrophies your stand up. You still got to get out and do spots. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because it's definitely not good for your
So
your set.
how's that been for you?
I've been doing my own hours around the corner to keep, you know what I mean, to keep the
That's-
blade sharp.
That's got to be rough though. 3 shows a night, 3 days out the week.
Yeah.
Doing the app situation.
That's why people don't see me. And I'm coming to y'all straight from class. So I was, I'm in acting class. I'm in an acting studio. This is end of my second year. So I walked out of class, got on the train, came out of it. Yeah.
The grind.
Yeah.
That's
See?
the real straight
That's
out.
why he meant by it. Let me see your schedule. And I'm gonna tell you what you're doing.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to overlook this guy's schedule right here because my man Will is not.
No, what happened to me is that,
No,
like you said, with the hosting thing, it became a monster. I got used to the money. The money, because
Yes.
hosting, the money you get hosting or headlining is the most money.
Yeah.
So you hold host, but it does affect the set really bad.
It could become a hammock.
Right.
Get comfortable.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. You just get comfortable and like whatever. I'm making the money, but it fucks up the set. It really does fuck up the whole set. So
you got to find ways to keep getting out.
And last, like maybe 2 more questions. As a host, or when you're hosting, are you trying out some of your new material while you're doing that also? And
I'm working a lot of that in now, forcing myself to do that. Yeah, but a lot of times you just setting the table for the comedians.
But is that good though? Because now it's kind of like
it's good for the comedians. It's not good for your set.
It's not good for your set. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's not good for your set. Yeah, improv is not the same thing. Those are 2 different muscles.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sucks, but
yeah.
All right, let's wrap up. Yo, man, this is a good episode. John, thank you for coming down.
Oh, thank you guys.
Man.
Brooklyn Basement.
Blapp, I just did it. I'm going to see King on
Yes.
See
thank
that?
you. Every download counts.
Can we get a drop into a quick drop?
Yeah, no doubt. What am
Brooklyn
I saying?
Basement, whatever you want. Brooklyn Basement Podcast. You know what I mean?
Yo, shout out to the Brooklyn Basement Podcast. This is where you want to be. I know it looks like I'm a hostage, but I'm not. I am here by my own volition. It's all good. Thank y'all for having me, man. I appreciate y'all having me. The Brooklyn Basement Podcast. Your boy, Jon Laster. Check this joint out.
Yo, Chris, I did it. Yo, Pun, I did it, yo. Hey, yo, God got me. Long story, small lobby. Broke elevators, but rich, mommy. I told her that while we was cheese liney. No looking back, go get your feet climby. No quicksand, cause the streets grimy. We thought the world was ending many times to speak kindly. They said that's why every cousin slept by me. But never had the dream to go get jet probably. Cause I was the only one that woke up in this